Iron Man is an American superhero film which first appeared as a comic book in the early 1960s and later on released its first movie in 2008. Iron Man continues to make its two other movies in the next couple of years. The movie was directed by the famous Marvel Studios, distributed by Paramount, and directed by Jon Favreau. Iron Man stars as Robert Downey Jr., or, Tony Stark. In the movie, Tony Stark is kidnapped and forced to build a weapon, but instead, Tony builds a suit of armor and escapes imprisonment. When he discovers an evil plan with global implications, he uses his armor and promises to protect the world as a superhero that many know as Iron Man. Now, if you intend to watch any of these movies, you have to be prepared for a lot of physics-defying moments. So in the scenes we're about to show you, there are going to be a lot in which physics was ignored, and there are going to be those in which physics was followed.
There are still terabytes of calculations needed before an actual flight is a
Jarvis, sometimes you gotta run before you can walk. Ready? In 3, 2, 1.
In the clip that you've just seen, Iron Man followed the law of action-reaction, in which every action must have an equal and opposite reaction. So in that scene, when he activated his thrusters, there was an equal reaction, because when he activated thrusters, the thrust pushed on the ground, which allowed him to push up as well, which in turn gave him the flight to start.
Circuits are made to be broken. Come on! Sir, there is a potentially fatal buildup of ice occurring. On! Higher! The ice stop, Jarvis! Deploy flaps! Jarvis! Come on, we gotta break the ice!
In the scene that you've just witnessed, the law of gravity was followed. Whatever comes up must come down. So here, Tony was flying into the atmosphere with the thrusters, and when he reached that certain point, his armor froze, which shut down the propulsion. When that happened, he ended up going down because of gravity. So, in the end, whatever comes up must go down. That's the law of gravity.
See that? Yeah, nice. Get down!
So in the scene you've just witnessed, Iron Man and War Machine were gunning down about 100 drones. If you've looked carefully, you can see that Rhodes barely had any recoil on his guns. That breaks the law of action-reaction, for there was no equal or opposite reaction there. If you look at the shoulder-mounted gun carefully, there was no movement for a shoulder. It was just twisting and turning, like it didn't care. Unless he was taking it like a man, which I doubt he could. So in the end, this breaks Newton's third law of action-reaction. So in this last scene, it doesn't particularly break a law of physics, it pretty much breaks science. Because that the whip is metal but can contain the current of electricity, in which was used to cut the car. But if you look, he didn't even cut through Tony's little shield, which was part of his car. He just whipped it off. It didn't burn or didn't get cut, it just flew away. And when he whipped on the road, it didn't even leave burn marks or anything. It just nothing. How can you cut through metal but not through asphalt? Come on. Thank you for watching our little movie about Iron Man and the scenes in which he broke the laws of physics and in the scenes in which he also followed it. Again, thank you very much.